This was the first week of school for most of the students in the Queen City. Some of the parents that I spoke to this week are already beat and stressed out, and so are the kids. From work, school, homework, after-school activities, it's understandable why parents and kids are stressed, especially if you have not established a routine or if you're trying to get back into the swing of things. So I reached out to WBTV's fitness expert, Ms. Nettie Reeves, on some advice on how parents and kids can de-stress after a long day at work or school. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so what is the biggest misconception about stress?
Well, first thing we need to do is talk about what stress is.
Okay.
And stress is the body's way of handling challenge.
Okay.
Okay? So I think the biggest misconception with stress is that just because you don't feel stress, that you're not affected by stress.
Yes.
In fact, stress can manifest itself in many unfortunate ways, such as insomnia, weight gain. And in fact, chronic stress can cause all the way, issues like heart disease and cancer. So it can be deadly.
Now, as parents, we're always stressing. It's almost like a requirement if you're an adult. And sometimes we forget that our kids are actually going through stress as well, from tests to making new friends or dealing with a new teacher. What are some of the telling signs that parents need to look for to know if their child is stressed out?
Well, first of all, you need to look at yourself, because as a parent, if you're stressed out, more than likely your kid is stressed out too.
Okay.
So any behavioral changes that you notice in your child, I think warrants attention by you. So if you run in the house after picking up your children from school and work has just ended for you, and you're highly stressed, and you throw your purse down because now you got to fix dinner, you got to get ready for tomorrow, you got to help with homework and all those things, and your kid is running around with like a chicken with their head cut off, and you say, sit down, you're stressing me out. Well, they're acting that way because you're acting that way as a parent. And so it's important to emulate the behavior that you want your children to emulate.
Okay. Now, most people think that you have to work out really, really hard to relieve stress, like running or kickboxing classes, but that's not really true. So tell us about that.
It's not really true. So often we think that we need to rev it up in order to bring it down.
Right.
But what we really need to do is bring it down.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, the physiological stress that we feel already, then we go and do more physical stress on the body can cause even more stress, meaning on your joints and things like that. And now you're stressed out because you're not only physiologically but biologically stressed out.
It's just a lot of stress. Stress. So give us some exercises or tell us some things that we can do with our kids to help de-stress after a long day at work and also school.
Well, as I said, I think we need to bring it down a notch.
Okay.
And I think that just because you don't feel like you're stressed does not mean that you're not being affected by stress.
Yes.
And so if we automatically, on a regular basis, learn to take it down, just stop, turn off all electronic devices, and just breathe. We can even do this in the car on the way to taking our children to school, or on our way sitting in the traffic.
Right.
Just turn off the radio, turn it all off, and just go inside yourself. Just breathe deeply in and deeply out. Now this time, breathe in deeply, shoulders up, and now breathe out and slowly and release them all the way down. Feeling de-stressed already, aren't you?
De-stressed.
Yoga's wonderful for de-stressing, yes. And you can stretch at home with your children right after school. Do that first. And then that'll bring both of you down a notch and help you to be able to get the things done that you need to get done for the next day.
Now, about how many minutes should we take to do this?
It depends on, you and your child, depends on the parents and the children, but I'd say, 5 minutes is all it takes. Sometimes it only takes 30 seconds.
Right. Well, I thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Olympia
And of course, you can check out Ms. Nettie Reeves right here on WBTV, 7:10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Definitely. And if you have any ideas for the Raising Brilliance segment, please post them on my page at Olympia D Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And for more information, log on to WBTV.com. Look in the Web Extra section under the Home tab. Thanks for being here, and we'll be right back with more news on Bounce.